Let's see if this is better. I am going to see if this is better. Let's see. Where's this schedule? Are you guys able to see me? Let me know if everybody's hopping on. Hello. Here we go. It's a little easier so I can see you guys. Okay. We're on live. Give everybody some time to hop on, and then we can begin today's thing. I'm so excited. I miss you guys so much. And I need to put on headphones so you guys will be able to hear me. Okay. Give everybody a chance to hop on. Hi. This feels better. Hello, hello, hello. Just gonna give everybody an opportunity to like hop in, get settled. Here we go. I'm teaching from my bedroom today. There we go. Okay. Hello. Thank y'all for being so patient and so cool. I'm usually doing this at 5 a.m., which ironically I'm a lot more accustomed to. So it was very interesting today. But I'm just happy y'all are here. Right? I know, Siobhan. And it's so funny because I'm like, look, I am very much a person where I'll just show up and get it done because I want to be able to have the stuff done. Plus, it helps you to like work through perfectionism, things like that. But I also understand like quality is important, and like this is something that I want everyone to be able to check out later on. And if it's like too hard to see, it just takes away from the experience, you know? Hello. Ah, how are you? Okay, are you guys able to hear me with my headphones in? Let me know if the sound has changed or anything at all, okay? I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, okay, we're connected. Just want to make sure we're good. Okay. Ah, I'm so happy to see you. First off, it's been like 4 days, and it's so sad that I am as distraught as I am. I'm so distraught. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is such a weird feeling to not be like talking to you guys in the morning. It only took like 28 days, and now I'm like, oh, this is weird. Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. So I'm just like, okay, this is fine. It's cool. It's chill. Um, yeah. For anybody watching the replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Lotus Hour. This is for practitioners, caregivers, teachers, sensitive beings, people that show up and like take care of their communities. It's an opportunity for us to decompress for an hour, to focus on ourselves, to tap in with a collective prayer, intention, meditation, and then we do a nice card pull to help us figure out the energy of this upcoming week. So we are officially in Cancer season. So all of my Cancerian loves, hello, happy birthday season for you. Um, I usually struggle through Cancer season, but I have a good feeling about this one. I feel like I'm gonna be okay, which makes me happy. Um, Let me take out my earrings. I don't want it banging against the microphone. There we go. Perfect. Yes. And we just had the solstice. So depending on the hemisphere that you're in, we've had a winter or summer. I had a summer solstice, but I know like Rahana had a winter solstice, right? So we're in a brand new season as well. So not only are we in a different zodiac season, we're also in a new season of life. So for some of us it's summer, for some of us it's winter. But it's really beautiful to know that change doesn't have to be as intense as we're often told it is. It can be a bit more easeful. So I really hope that you utilize the full moon on Friday in Capricorn, strawberry full moon, the summer solstice or winter solstice to really set your intentions. I want to go over last week's cards really quickly before we jump into this week's. And then, of course, if you guys have any questions, things like that, please do not hesitate to ask. Okay. Hello, hello, lady. Hi, Lady Lotus. How are you? Is it a little muffled? Is it muffled still, Rihanna? Let me know. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Good morning. Yes, 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 you are. Let me know if the sound is still muffled, though, because I don't want you guys to have a hard time hearing me. I figured that the headphones would be better. So let me know. There we go. Keep me posted, okay? But yes, I'm very excited. So last week we had a really great card reading, and I'm just gonna go over it very quickly. It's still a little muffled. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna take off the headphones and then let me know if that changes it. You might hear the fan in the background though. So yeah, okay, got you. What about now? Is it better in the sound? Let me know. Keep me posted. So this way we can have like a good recording. It's so weird. I'm so used to recording on Insight Timer and then having this as a backup. So it's weird having this as a primary thing. Okay, better? Okay, perfect. We'll just do this. We'll just do this. This is perfect. So last week, yes, great. Last week we had a really amazing card pull, and I want to check in with everyone to see how you felt, how the card pull resonated with you, if you saw any changes. So first and foremost, we had that full moon in Cancer, and it spoke about personal issues being resolved. So I don't know if you guys had any experience with that this week. I know I had a few issues, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. Exactly the solution that I needed. And then we also had in reverse the luck is on your side card, new moon and Sag. And that was that reminder of like living under cosmic knowledge is not a negative thing. It doesn't mean that you are not putting in some type of effort to live your best life. In fact, it means that you're in harmony with the universe so that you can live your absolute most aligned life, right? And then we had a new start is coming, and that was a new moon card for celebration. And this was for everyone because it really signified the fact that we were in a new season in our zodiac sign, a new season in general, and that there's so many amazing things on the horizon for us, right? It's an opportunity for us to remember our sense of gratitude. I was just brushing my teeth earlier today, and I was thinking about the fact that I used to have like really bad teeth sensitivity, and I spent most of last year reconstructing my mouth from lupus and stuff like that, right? Like starting to get things together. And when I was brushing my teeth this morning, the fact that it didn't hurt, and I had to take a moment to be like, oh wow, I don't think I ever took the time out to realize that I don't have the same pain anymore at all. And it was a really sweet moment of gratitude. Even though it feels very small, something like just being grateful that my teeth are healthy, but I've also experienced the complete opposite of that, where it has been horrible just even being able to like talk without me being in pain. And it was that reminder again to slow down, right? Even if we're in summer, even if we're in a warmer season, do not forget to slow down, to pause, to reflect, to check back in with your sense of gratitude, because it's so interesting how fleeting it can be at times. I It just blew my mind that it was something I had taken for granted that quickly. And like less than a year ago, I was in so much pain, you know? Like coming from out of the water, the fan is fanning, but just okay, okay, perfect. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, so it's super important that we remember that, because when you have a new start, it does mean that something is ending, but you can be grateful for that ending just like you're grateful for the beginning, right? The ending just means that you closed a chapter. You were able to uh, level up in a way to get to a new experience. There's something rewarding in that that I want us to continue to highlight through our sense of gratitude. Even though we have our practice, our 28 days practice that I know is like completed and things like that, we can still use the energy of gratitude in our everyday. It doesn't have to change. So I just want to put that out there because I feel like that was a message that needed to be said. But let me know how your week was. Were there any wins that we can celebrate? Were there any moments where you felt like, okay, I need a little bit more support in this? This is the best time to like ask and share that information so that we can hold space for each other. And I know for myself, it was a really beautiful week. But I always think that my weeks are going to be great and amazing because I get to spend time with y'all. So it always just makes it better to be able to be in space with you all and to be able to do things like a card reading, a meditation. Just having the opportunity to spend time with y'all is really important to me. So while you guys are letting me know, I'm going to drink some water and then I'm going to shuffle the cards because we're going to actually do the card reading first and let that guide our meditation today, okay? So we're going to channel and simply just place your hand over your heart if you feel led to. You can close your eyes, soften your gaze. But I want you to begin to center yourself. Reading cards is a tool. The messages that we receive are based off of our own energy signatures. So we have the ability to influence what the cards tell us about the life that we're going to continue living. And we can do this by anchoring ourselves in the beginning. Checking in with your heart. Remembering that you're moving in a space of love and a space of gratitude. Allowing yourself to be present. Focusing in on the breath with deep inhales and slow exhales. Trusting in this moment and trusting in yourself. And you can call on your angels, your ancestors, whoever you feel comfortable with, God, Source, Universe. Ask them to be present in this practice with you. That you are able to receive the insights and signs that you need to move forward in this week, for you to have an easier week. A week where you continue to prioritize your own self-care, your own well-being. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, release. Okay, let's see. Checking in. Oh my God, y'all, my therapist is so wonderful. I love her. I love a good therapist, okay? Shared my feelings last week now, though, and now I feel so conflicted. Do I tell her that? Siobhan, you can always let them know. I mean, they're professionals, right? Sometimes it's going to happen when you're in a professional setting where you're being told a truth or a perspective of yourself that does not feel as soft, right? When we experience it, it's like, oh wow, you know. Every now and then you get a bit of a harsh truth. It shouldn't be consistent though, right? If it's consistently when your feelings are getting hurt, that might be something to consider. But if it was like a one-off thing, you can have that conversation. Because I also think it's important too to let your therapist know, or whoever you're practicing with, whether it's your practitioner, your spiritual teacher, like having that dialogue, that heart to heart. Because otherwise, what ends up happening is that you internalize that experience and you stop feeling safe around them. And when you're not feeling safe around your practitioner or your professional, you end up closing yourself off to healing, right? To an experience because you don't feel safe anymore. So what I was sharing before when I was in my vulnerable, soft era, right? I can't do that anymore because I don't feel safe with you because something that you said made me feel a certain way. And your therapist has the skill set and the tools to healthily communicate with you maybe what they meant when they said that, or to help you unpack why it hurt your feelings. Because the truth is, sometimes when we hear things about ourselves and it hurts our feelings, it's because there is either some truth to it, or we believe that it's true and we're kind of shocked that someone pointed it out to us, right? And we're like, not everyone's seeing this flaw, right? Or this issue. So I think having a conversation with your therapist is healthy. I think that's the whole purpose of their profession, is to converse, right? In a healthy manner. So let them know, like, hey, there was this comment last week and it stayed with me. I'm still thinking about it, you know, a week later or 2 weeks later, however often you see your practitioner. And, you know that this is also part of your healing, as well as being able to advocate for yourself and letting people know when you don't feel comfortable. Okay? Um, Yep, I shared the message about having a self-care summer. I love this for you, Lady Lotus. My week was very productive, and I was intentional about my own self-care space. Same. I stuck to my workout plan. I drank enough water, which I was very proud of, because there was one week where I didn't, and it was crazy. I was outside a lot this week, even in the heat. Just getting outside, soaking up the sun, soaking up the energy. So important. I'm so happy you did this. Siobhan, oh, my spiritual teacher coming through to say my therapy. Yes, yes. Just speak to them. And if you find that because they're still human too, so they might actually, it's a very interesting dynamic. Because you're just like, oh man, with all the skill set tools that I have, I don't want to offend anybody, right? I don't want anyone to feel unsafe around me. So it also might be a triggering conversation for them, but we're also each other's teachers too. Like, just because you are the patient or the client doesn't mean that you're not also there to provide wisdom and insight to your professional, right? It's important that we understand that dynamic, because that just makes the experience better when we're both able to show up and be the teachers that we're designed to be, you know? Hi, Patrice. How are you? You are not worried. Oh my God, TJ! You please never worry about being late. You guys know how I am about that. Like, you got here when you got here, and I'm just happy that you're here. I'm just happy you're here. That's really what matters to me. But yes, we're just reflecting on last week's messages before we get into this week's messages. There's nothing crazy happening in the cosmos that I feel we need to go over just yet. So it's just going to be a simple reading, prayer, intention. But we do have a new moon, I think, in a week. And we'll probably next Sunday be talking about how you can prepare for the new moon. However, if you have not done your practice for the full moon, you could still tap into the energy today. So if you haven't done your practice for the full moon in Capricorn, please do it, okay? It's going to be so potent. We're going to have 2 full moons in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so it's all about discipline, delayed gratification, delayed satisfaction. You know, it's the planet where we learn our deepest lessons. It takes time for things to settle in. It's like a slow unpeeling, if you will. But once you get through that experience, whatever it is that you learn, it's like set into your bones. Right? So Capricorn energy, and it being a full moon, about that illumination, what's really being shown in your heart, what's that you want to let go of and release as you move forward, right? So keep these things in mind. Capricorn energy is all about moving forward. You know, they're very money focused, very materialistic at sometimes too, but they are planners. They are A to B, B to C, and they persevere through anything. So if you find yourself in a tough spot or coming into a tough spot, remember that that is just the energy of the cosmos reminding you of your strength, of your resiliency, that you're able to move through this. So some full moon rituals that you can do. I did a sweetener ritual for myself, like a sugar jar. So that's part of like my practice. So I did a sugar jar, love it. We're having a good time with that. It's super cute. You can also just burn like a candle for purification. I have a purity candle that I'm going to be lighting soon. I'm making candles, so I'm very excited about this. So I'm excited to like try it out and see how it is. Just cleaning up your space is always a good time during the new or full moon. Keeping your space clean, washing down the floors, the windows, like keeping your space very clean, because energetically speaking, a clean home also gives you like a clean mind and a clean energy field, so you can really process anything that comes up for you throughout the week with more ease. So I would say doing anything like that. And then because it's in an earth sign, you can also do anything that has to do with earth. So utilizing your crystals, charging your crystals, going outside in nature is a really great way to connect back to an earth sign energy. being outside is probably top tier. What I would suggest, doing some earthing, walking barefoot on the ground if you can. These are all great ways to tap into the full moon energy. Writing out your intentions, and burying them. So that's still earth energy. A lot of people write their intentions out and burn them, but I really believe in utilizing the elements in our practice, not just one element. So because we have the sun in a water sign and then we have the moon in an earth sign, you could choose either element to make it happen. You could write them out and like flush them away or leave them to the river. Make sure that it's biodegradable paper, of course, or you can bury it in the ground and allow Mother Earth to transmute the energy. It's completely up to you. Okay. I missed you too, Priscilla. Oh my gosh, guys. Yes, the last full moon was intense for me. It was a very intense energy. But Capricorn energy is super intense. It's not like a go with the flow kind of Gemini vibe. It's very much a we have things to get done, right? Capricorn's that work hard energy. So it can feel very conflicting when you are someone who is working on ushering in your softer life, right? It can feel like, I feel like I'm being pressured to do things I'm not prepared to do. But there's also that cosmic nudge of like, right now we can actually have you focus in to get this thing done so you can have the experience that we want you to have. Let me know if that makes sense. See, new moons make me moody. Full moons, I feel alive. I'm just like, oh, party, let's go. But a new moon, I'm like, I'm in my feelings. Let me just drink my water. I'm gonna be quiet. So it depends, and I would keep track of that if you can. Give yourself like this next season. This is actually the perfect time to start and like track your experiences with the moon to find out what's going on too. Especially if you're somebody that has like their moon cycle, you can also track it with the moon, and it helps so much to understand I cannot stress it enough. Understanding your hormones, understanding your cycle. If you're someone who has a cycle, it is so crucial to your overall well-being. There are certain times where I'm like, why am I in this mood? And then I start to worry about myself of like, do I have a good grip on life? Am I like, tuning in, doing the rituals, the practices? And it's just like, no, it's just that time of the month where like your hormones drop. It's just natural. Like you're just ebbing right now. And it helps you to know those things. So that's just like a PSA. Please check in with that. Use your journal to document. I document every full and new moon so that I can go back and look and see how I was feeling, how I was doing. And I found the pattern that new moons are just hard for me. It doesn't even matter what sign it's in, right? It's really hard for me. There are certain zodiac seasons that are really rough for me. Usually it's Cancerian season, but fingers are crossed. I just feel like it's going to be a good season for me, right? You might also notice too that depending on your top three in your zodiac, if you're aware of them, those seasons might be better for you, right? So Scorpio season is always great for me because I'm a Scorpio sun. But the season before that, Libra season, is notoriously intense for me because it's that last season before your new year, your personal new year. So all of what you were dealing with from the year before, anything that has been unresolved tends to come up in that zodiac season before your birthday season. So I don't know if you guys have witnessed that for yourself, but I've noticed that for myself. So like my moon season is usually rough for me too, which is Pisces. It's usually very emotional, whether I like it or not. And then my rising is Gemini, and that's been decently good to me for as long as I've been aware of it. It's just nice to be in your sign. So these are great ways for us to connect. And I talk about astrology in this way because it reminds us to connect to nature, to connect to the stars, to remember that it's not just us in this one little body, right? We are connected to this big, beautiful ecosystem of cosmos and nature, and each other's souls. So utilize all the information that you can without being overwhelmed so you know how to better navigate. Okay? Stacy! Hi! Y'all are making me so happy. Yes, the full moon. Yeah. See, full moons in me, gang energy. But new moons, I try my best to even not schedule things around new moon because I know that it's intense for me. I know that I'm more moodier. I just know myself enough to know, like, let me just not have anything around new moons. Every time I plan something around a new moon, I'm always upset about it. Just like, girl, you don't want to talk to anybody. Why would you do this? Yes, you've been feeling emotional. Completely understandable. New moons will bring out big emotions because, again, that's where the moon is fully illuminated. So anything that has been like kind of living in the shadows over the past couple of weeks is brought to light in a full moon. It's for you to witness. Hey, here's what's really going on. Do you want to keep this feeling, or do you want to get rid of this feeling? And that's why we set intentions. That's why we do practice. That's why some of us do ritual, because it helps us to continue clearing out our energy on a spiritual level, right? When we're tapping, we're doing the physical, energetic healing and work and things like that. When we do things like setting intention, prayer, meditation, this also helps us on a spiritual level to really tap in and tune in and make sure that we're not bringing things that we don't want into this new season of our lives, okay? Yes, see, it's good to know. It's good to know your cycle, man. It's good to know your cycle. Yes. Oh my gosh, y'all make me so happy. Yes, I am a moon cycle like clockwork. Yeah, same here. Yeah, I have an app that is very spicy, but it keeps me together. It reminds me what's going on, and it's extremely accurate. So I can look on there and just know what's going on. Also, just knowing the difference between like the follicular, the luteal, the menstrual phase, and the ovulation phase is like super important too, because your energy's gonna fluctuate, your body's gonna fluctuate. It just reminds you that we're like these beautiful shape shifting beings, if you will. So, yes, that's just my PSA announcement about making sure you're tapped in and tuned in, okay? Yes, okay. Oh my goodness. It's called Stardust. It is a very spicy app, okay? I gave it to my sister. She was like, girl, what is going on? But they're very accurate. So they're like really funny. They'll have like really funny things, sayings about your cycle where you're like, or they like trying to make a joke with you during your menstrual cycle, like when you're really having, you know, maybe PMS or PMDD experiences, like to like make it funny, and you're like, this is not, I'm not laughing with you right now, like at all. But the accuracy is on point. Like, I have not had any issues with that tracker itself. And I utilize the free version. I'm sure there's a paid version, but it's great. And it also helps you to document again. So that way, when you're back into that phase, it'll let you know what you were experiencing in the last phase, which I think is super helpful. Okay, I read this book on emotional intelligence. Oh, yes, because I have many different emotions. I'm a March Pisces. Okay, I'm not emotional like Pisces are described. Those are February Pisces. We're not the same. You know what's so funny? February Pisces say the same thing about March Pisces all the time. They're like, we're not that emotional. And as a Pisces moon, I don't think I'm that emotional either. I'm very passionate, but I do think that's my Scorpio side. But I feel things very deeply. I may not feel all things at the at once. Um, if there's something surface level, it's not gonna like upset me. But if there's something deep, yeah, it's gonna sit with me. But that's just because I have a Pisces moon. Yes. Oh, okay? So you like it? Yeah. Stardust is good. They're a little spicy every now and then, but they're a really good app. See, look, I told you. Yes, it's so funny. Like, it's interesting too when you start talking about the different signs and their different birth months and how that affects their sign as well. Because an October Scorpio is different than a November Scorpio. My sister's a November Scorpio. I'm an October Scorpio, and we are very similar. And then there are very distinct differences in our personalities, and it does speak to the month in which we're born. It's all so interesting. Okay, let me do this card pull while you guys are leaving some more things for us to talk about. And then we'll get into that meditation and that prayer and the intention setting. Oh. Okay. Okay. Wow. That's pretty quick. Love that. Love that. Okay, so we have our 3-card pull. We have 2 in reverse. 1's not in reverse. So again, this week is offering us an opportunity to have some beautiful reflection, inner work, right? Inner exploration. Okay. All right, let's do it. So the first card that we have is in reverse, and it is surrender to the divine. It's a full moon, y'all. I think we might have spoke it up. Full moon, surrender to the divine. This is such an important sentence. Surrender to the divine. What it's saying is, whatever it is that you're carrying, whatever worry that you have in the background, this is the opportunity, this is the time for you to give it to source, give it to universe, God, Allah, whoever you call on to. It's very important that you practice surrendering this week. What I'm getting is that we're gonna have a little bit of moments that are gonna stretch us, that are gonna grow us, like we normally do. But because we're setting this intention now, we're gonna have more awareness, so it might feel a little bit more intense. In those moments, it's not for you to persevere by pushing through or forcing yourself through an outcome. It's an opportunity for you to practice surrender, right? We talked about this in a previous live where you ask for something and you get the direct opposite. So if you're asking for peace, you experience chaos, right? Because it's an opportunity for you to practice having the thing that you want in that environment, in that atmosphere. So the ability to surrender is super beautiful. I know a lot of us we have this notion like surrender means to like give up, uh like you're weak or something like that. But when we're talking about surrender in the sense of giving up, it's like giving it up to source, giving it up to universe, giving it up to God, right? Not just like I don't know what else to do anymore. It's like I don't know what else to do anymore because maybe this is the end of the road for me and my skill set and capabilities. And now I get to co-create with source, with universe, with God, whoever you call on to, and they're going to take the wheel from here. And now my job is not to worry about the how, the obstacles. It's simply to witness the nudges. Where are you guiding me? Where do you want me to go? And then going to those places and having faith, trusting in the direction that source is bringing you, right? It's very important that we learn how to surrender to the divine. It's an ongoing practice. The minute that you feel like you've surrendered and you've gotten it and you've mastered it, you find a new way to surrender, okay? It is a forever thing. But it's important because what that full moon is telling us in this card as well is that we're going to have to surrender something that's at completion. We're going to be in a season of letting go. Like I said, every time that we have a new beginning, there is an ending that we must acknowledge, that we must honor. And when we do not acknowledge or honor our endings, it's hard. It's hard. And what ends up happening is that you don't let go when you're supposed to let go. So now you're dragging this old thing into the new experience that you're having. And you're experiencing all this conflict, all this resistance. And it's because there's old energy that you have not let go of. And if you were to surrender that energy, you would notice how almost everything in your life switches. It flips. That is how potent energy, everything is energy. This phone is energy, I'm energy, you're energy. Everything is energy. So when we are honest and open about the fact that something is ending and we let that energy go, we let it die, however you want to call it, we then make space for more good things come into our lives. So surrender to the divine this week. Allow yourself to practice it. I know some of us can be a bit of control freaks. Okay, I know some of us are having a hard time with allowing someone else to help us lead our life, but you're not giving this to another human being, right? That may be flawed or may be incapable depending on their skill set and experience. You're giving this to source, to your God, to love, to gratitude, to whatever energy you call on to help you through your tough times. And if you're not calling on an energy to help you through your tough times, it might be why you're having a lot of tough times. We as human beings are not designed to move throughout the world without being tapped and tuned in. Whether it's to energy, whether it's to love, whether it's to God, it doesn't matter. But we're supposed to be tuned inward. Because ultimately it's all the same thing. But that's a different conversation for a different day, right? You really want to make sure that you are leaning in on spirit. So for some of us who have done the gratitude practice, maybe it's bringing that back up and looking at and seeing like, well, what can I do to be more grateful in this upcoming week? Because being grateful helps us to surrender. Like, you know what, God, I'm so grateful that I have you to just give this problem to, because on my own, I could never get through this, right? And being honest about your humanity. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you can't get through every hardship. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you don't have all the answers. You're human. You're not supposed to have all of these answers. That's the point of living. That's the point of experiencing other people. That's the point of having these life lessons. It's for you to learn. Learn to surrender. Learn to help Source by allowing Source to help you. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm going to go through the comments. I see you guys. Yes, I'll share the deck because I can finally share the deck. So that is one perk, is that I'm able to tell you guys everything and I have to worry about any malfunctions. Okay, reminds me of one of my card decks, BPE. Love these decks. This is the Moonology deck. It's like this is my first Oracle deck when I started reading cards. Yeah, I'll probably tell you guys that story later. But yes, this is my first deck. So cute. I was gifted my first tarot deck, which is supposed to, like, in culture, that's like what you're supposed to do. But my Oracle deck was for the moon, and I loved it, and I read it every single day. It's the cards, everything is worn. It's well loved. Love this deck. Very good. And it's available in, I have like an Amazon storefront that has like all the stuff that I've ever brought when it comes to like ritual or spiritual practices. They're all there, and I try to like get the ones that have like the discounts, stuff like that for you guys. Okay. Did you meditate or tap yet? I'm so happy to be here. We are just meditating today, Priscilla, for this one, but we'll tap on Wednesday. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Ginger. Oh my God. Card 1 is giving the call to come inside the house. Oh, the call's coming from inside the house. Yeah. I know, right? Honor the ending. Oh my goodness. It's so important to do so. I picture holding onto a water ski rope too long and getting whipped around. Ginger, that's a perfect description because, yes, I have this saying where when it's time for you to move forward, you can either move forward or you can get dragged by the universe. Like, the universe can hold your hand and you guys can kind of like lovingly move forward, very cute, or it will drag you. Because when there's a calling on your heart, when there's a purpose for you to fulfill, at one point, I feel like the energy gets like, you're playing too many games. It's time to go. Let's go. Let's go. And that's where we're like kicking, we're screaming, like, oh, I don't want to let go of this relationship or this environment. I'm so used to it, even though it frustrates me, or, my job. And we're complaining. We know we hate this thing. We know we're not in alignment. We know it's making us bitter. It's making us frustrated, making us annoyed. All these feelings that don't allow us to feel good. We're getting all of this. And we're still choosing to be a part of it. Despite all the, because once you get to a space of frustration, annoyance, a space of hatred, you've missed all the signs, right? That's why it's blaring. That's why it's uncomfortable. That's why you start having like anxiety when you go to the space, or you're meeting the person, or you're in a mood every single time you're in that dynamic. It's your body, it's the universe trying to get your attention, and it will get your attention, right? That's why we talk a lot about the body will talk to us through pain, because when we feel good, we do not care about our bodies. We aren't paying attention to our bodies. So when our bodies signify pain, then we're like, oh no, like my arm hurts. Now you're paying attention to the body. Now what ends up happening is we don't look into it more. We're just like, oh, it hurts, let me grab some Tylenol. When it's like, actually, there might be a spiritual lesson there for you to learn. I've always come to understand that there's always a lesson in the pain in which my body is feeling. So I'll go and I'll research that to see what's coming up. Like, and tune in. What did I just experience? Like, and I'll realize, like, oh yeah, that person and we didn't connect the way that I thought we was going to connect. And maybe my body's just agreeing with me by sending me pain. Like, yeah, we didn't like that experience either, right? This is how the body can communicate to us. This is how the universe will communicate to us. It'll continue to, like, sometimes you're getting all these obstacles because the universe is trying to redirect you, and you will not allow yourself to be redirected. These are all signs, okay? Surrender before us. The universe, when I think about it, when I was younger, the way I would like try to push through to make my will happen by any means necessary, when I really could have just been vibing with the universe. I mean, I love and I appreciate young Lotus because she has done so much for me. But sometimes I'm like, girl, we just could have went with the universe. It didn't have to be this difficult. This is hard. We don't have to do this. It doesn't have to be as hard all the time. We have to stop tricking ourselves that, like, well, because it was blood, sweat, and tears, it's a value now. It was always a value. You are always a value. No matter what type of effort you put in, it does not matter. It does not change your value. You are of worth now. You're of value now. In the ease, in the struggle, it doesn't matter. You're valuable in both instances, but like, go with the ease. Enjoy your life. You know? No tapping. I know, yes, yes. So which one of your TV should I watch after this? I have one on the full moon for those that want to do that. I can put it in my Instagram story so you guys can do it. It's a mini session, super potent, very powerful. Depending on the rest of the card reading, I will know which one. I think I have a tapping on surrendering as well. So I can put those links up on Instagram, and you can just literally watch the videos and just go through it. It'll be simple. But yeah, we'll tap on Wednesday. I figured to just split it where we'll have the meditation today, and then on Wednesday we're just gonna do a catch up with everybody, and tap in and just do a midweek check in. Okay. Stop it. That's what my therapist said. That hurt me. Oh no, Siobhan, no. She clapped and said, "If you don't learn the lesson, if you don't learn, the universe will teach you." I cannot wait to tell her the universe will drag you. Yes, yeah. And as someone who's been dragged before, I just don't want that life anymore. I'm just, wherever you need me to go, I am willing to follow. You know. I'm absolutely learning how the body connects with spiritual things and ailments in the body has been wellness changing. It has, right? Because now you understand what's going on. Now you get it. You're like, okay, thank you for showing me this. I had no idea, right? So that's our first card, surrender to the divine. This is in reverse because this is a lesson that we need to learn internally. Internally, right? If you're having those negative thoughts, that inner critic, surrender it to the divine. Instead of you trying to manage that voice in your head that makes you feel bad, give it to the divine, give it to source, give it to God. Hey, I cannot manage this. I have no problem asking for help from anyone, whether it be source or a person that has a skill set to help me. I have let go of that need of pride of like, well, I can do it myself. Sometimes I can do it myself, and just because you're capable of doing it doesn't mean that you have the capacity to do it, first and foremost, right? So these are things that I ask myself. Is it just easier for me to get someone else to do it for me? Is it going to put me in a really bad space mentally or energetically if I try to persevere through this experience? And if I get a yes on any of those, I'm writing it down on my universe to-do list, and I'm letting the universe handle it, because it is misplaced energy at that point. Okay, so our second card is also in reverse, and we spoke of the Capricorn energy, y'all. The new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. There we go. We're at the beginning of this journey, so that silver lining, right? That's where we're at. This is all the unknowns, all the uncertainty. This is the adventure that awaits us. What we're getting from this card is whatever effort and work we've put in the past, it is going to benefit us now. What that also means, and this might be very triggering for some of us, so just bear with me, you're going to have to add more ease into your life. You're going to need to trust in yourself and trust in what you've already produced, as opposed to trying to produce more. Because this is a clear sign that all the work you've done prior to this is working in your favor. But give it an opportunity to work in your favor. Why is it that you're continuously trying to build up? The word that's coming in is like more good karma. Like, you're not even enjoying the karma that you did build for yourself. And now you're trying to add on to it. Like, when are you going to enjoy the fruits of your labor? When are you going to sit there and recognize all that you've accomplished? When are you going to pat yourself on the back? And when are you going to allow yourself to celebrate all the amazing things that you've done? This is a call for you to do that. Celebrate yourself. Honor the fact that you've worked hard. And when you get this notion of like, oh, I need to work harder because I want more success, that might be rooted in capitalism, which is understandable because that's the society in which we live, right? But that is not going to satisfy you. Because if it was going to satisfy you, if that mentality was going to keep you satiated, you would be satisfied now. So it's not going to do that. Instead, understand that you've done a lot of work. This is also a call for you to rest, for you to experience joy, for you to slow down and savor the moment in which you're in. And you have a journey with this. Okay? There's a lot to be seen here, a lot to witness, a lot for you to experience. Are you going to allow yourself to experience these things? Or are you going to pretend like all that hard work you just put in is irrelevant and there's no benefit to it, and just continue to work yourself to the bone? This is not something that I want for you at all. It's not something that I want for myself, if I'm being quite honest. I don't think that we need to have experiences like that. I think we are allowed, I feel like we are allowed to say, you know what, I did a lot of work in the past. When I was going through all of my content, I didn't even realize I've been teaching in spirituality for over 10 years. Teaching as an educator in schools for over 15 years. I have so much content, sometimes it is a bit mind-blowing, and then I'm always creating more, right? I'm always doing something new, and I had to sit with myself and realize, like, the stuff you created in the past is good, it's fantastic, right? I have a podcast with over 150 episodes that are based on everything you can possibly imagine about mental wellness, creative wellness, spiritual wellness. Like, I have been very vulnerable and transparent along my entire journey, and it's documented, and it took me going through it this week. And my sister's like, what's going on? And I'm just looking at her like, I've done so much, and I do not know how all of these accomplishments, all of this wisdom and insight just kind of flies over my head because I'm so focused on producing more. What else can I give? What else can I do? As opposed to, I'm really proud of what I've been able to give. I'm really satisfied with what I was able to create for my community. This is in itself enough, right? Because I am in myself enough. If I don't produce anything else after today, I have done a lot. I could be proud and satisfied with myself. And the fact that we tend to ignore our greatness, or we're unable to witness our greatness, is a little heart-wrenching, because you're walking around thinking that you haven't given this world enough when you've probably given it 3 times what it needed. And if we took the time out to witness that, I do think it would change the trajectory of our lives and what is that we call in. Because we would be moving from a space of, I've already given so much, and now whatever I give will be from overflow. As opposed to, I need to give something so people know that I'm relevant, or people know that I care, or people, know that I'm intelligent, or people know, that I'm skillful, whatever it is that end desire is. It's always for people to know something. And you forget that you need to know about yourself as well. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay? Important message for me to hear. I keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Want to honor how much I've done and allow the blessings to roll in. Exactly. Like, we deserve to have those experiences. It's so wild that we don't allow ourselves to. Many people don't understand how karmic energy works. I believe we can shift our karma by doing more good and taking accountability for ourselves. Agreed, Lady Lotus. Be good, plant good seeds, and the universe attracts it back. Agreed. Yes. I hear you, Ginger. I feel like I'm doing the same. I keep pushing forward and I don't stop to look around and see what I've done so far. It's hard for me to tell myself to let go. Yeah, and maybe it might just be like reframing the word. So maybe instead of let go, maybe it's surrender. Maybe it's like, I'm going to practice surrendering. I'm going to give this to you. I'm not going to carry this anymore. I'm going to put it down. Right? Because surrender is also an act of liberation. It's also an act of freedom. We have to kind of get the word out of our head from like colonialism, right? Of like, surrender is like when someone has dominated you, essentially, and you don't have a choice but to give yourself to that society or purpose, right? This is not what's being asked of us from divine source. It's never like, I want to dominate you. It's, I would like to guide you, because I did make everything and create all the things you're experiencing. So I kind of have some hacks, some tips, some cheat codes that could benefit you. But also, so you can understand the beautiful part of this is that the universe is like, oh man, okay. the universe will give you the opportunities to come willingly. I'm like, hey girl, I think if you just allow me to guide you, we could have a really good time, right? But then after a while, it's just like I see you suffering and struggling so much. I have done all the soft, gentle parenting that I could do right now. You are not getting it. I am going to have to get you to get it because there's a calling on your heart. There's a purpose for you to express. And you need to express it for yourself so that you can feel satiated and satisfied when you transition, right? But also, there are people in the world who are waiting for you to share, to give in whatever capacity. And you're missing out on that because you're struggling, right? Uh, One thing that I learned from the book No Mud, No Lotus, and it's right here. So one thing about teaching in my room, my bookshelf is right here. This book is absolutely incredible. No Mud, No Lotus. So good. In this book, the author speaks to the understanding that everyone is meant to suffer. There's a difference between suffering and struggling. Suffering is a natural consequence of living life, right? So it's those moments that are painful, but they're not meant to last for long. What ends up happening though is because we get so caught up in the pain in which we're feeling, we keep it with us, right? We make a home for that pain in our body, and then we're struggling. Struggling is when you have not let go of the suffering. Because in order to let go of suffering, you have to surrender. They're like sisters, they go hand in hand. The suffering comes up because it's an invitation for you to surrender. Give this to something bigger than you, because you clearly are not able to do it yourself. Otherwise, you would not be in this much pain. You would not be this dissatisfied if you had the skill set and capability. And that's something for us to also understand, because you may feel like I should be able to get through this because I did it before. That is a whole different person. Yes, it's the same you, but we're always growing and evolving with each breath that we take. So it's something to understand that what you were able to accomplish yesterday or 5 years ago may not be what you're able to accomplish today. It doesn't make you less than. It just simply means that this is an act, an invite for you to work in tandem with your source, your God, your energy, to help you move through things so that you do not end up struggling, right? Where we end up repeating cycles and having the same impact or worse because we have not taken the time to call in help, to have someone else be here with us. And think about it for yourself. When you're moving a heavy item, doing it by yourself, right, and trying to pull it in is a struggle. Will you get it done? Yes. But it is a struggle, right? Kind of doing it together, you might suffer a little bit, like, oh, it's a little uncomfortable, but you have someone to bounce it off of, to connect with. And then you're able to move that item where it needs to be without you being in so much pain and discomfort. It also makes it go by a lot faster. Suffering is not supposed to be internal. It's not supposed to be all the time. There's supposed to be moments to invite you to surrender. Once you surrender, the suffering dissipates. But what ends up happening is that we get the suffering, we don't surrender, because we're like, I gotta get through this, I gotta make this happen. Right? And then we struggle. And the thing that should have left us days, weeks, years ago is still sitting in us, festering into our energy, rewiring our brain, traumatizing our body because we didn't let it go, because we had a hard time surrendering. None of us deserve that. And it's good that we have spaces like this, especially as care givers, as practitioners, as teachers, as educators in your field, in your community. This is a great way for you to lead by example, for you to model the behavior of like, I'm giving this to source. I actually don't have the answer. I don't want to carry this anymore. This is a lot of responsibility for just me. I'm willing to share the responsibility. However, I can no longer bear this completely on my own. Whether you're saying that to someone in your community or you're saying it to God, source, universe, love, either way, open up that channel so that you can have that support. Okay? I hear you, Ginger. I feel like I'm doing the same. I keep pushing forward, and I don't stop to look around and see what I've done so far. It's hard for me to tell myself to let go. Yes, yes, yes. They say build, and they will come. Yes, Siobhan. Gotta take off the hard hat for the wine, baby. I love that. Oh my goodness, that one resonates. In as much as this season's energy is about diving deep, I feel like just marinating on what's already there. Agreed. Lady Lotus, knowing about yourself is more important than what others think about you. I could not. That is probably the best insight that I will ever give someone, is to know about yourself. More than you know about this world. The fact that I know about myself, and I also know that there are new things happening within me every single day. So there's always going to be that adventure. There's always going to be that unknown, right? But I'm constantly aware of myself. It makes it a lot easier for me to navigate life because I'm aware of myself. I understand my likes and my dislikes. I understand what will excite me and what's going to put me in an interesting mood. And then I get to decide, do I want to have this experience? And that is there's such liberation in that, when we get to decide how we're going to experience our lives, as opposed to just letting life happen and being like, I'm just here. It's like, you are here, yes, but are you fully here? Are you fully present? Are you fully in your power? Are you wielding your authority? Are you setting intention? Because that's what it means to really be here. To be here now, to be present, means that you understand your influence in your life. You understand your impact in your life. And you are willing to show up and initiate whatever process is needed so you can live a good life. Because you deserve to live a good life. Okay? I offer my plan up and allow myself to be guided. Yes. It is in my Amazon cart. I wanted to read it for a while. Yeah, it's a really good book. I love it a lot. Pour into yourself first. Oh my God, I love that. Then you can pour into others. Yes, my personal slogan is, I am self first unapologetically. Because being self first is a practice, right? But a lot of times people put themselves first and feel guilty about it, and it negates the entire process. So I'm unapologetic while putting myself first. Because I understand that when I am in a space of overflow, everyone will benefit, always. I've never been proven wrong on that. When I am in a space of overflow, when I feel aligned, when I feel like I'm in my magic, when I feel supported by the universe, supported by my ancestors, my community gets the absolute best of me, and it doesn't require all of my energy to make it happen because I'm at overflow. It's just literally pouring out, and they're getting that access. They're getting that, and they're like, oh wow, this is so healing, or this is so nourishing, or I love this experience with you. It's because I put a lot of effort into me and into how I'm feeling, into what's going to help me to feel clear and aligned, right? My discipline, which I was taught from one of my spiritual mothers, discipline is a study of yourself, right? When I'm disciplining myself, I'm studying myself. I need to be a disciple of me. Let me study myself. What works, what doesn't work. And then from there, I get to a space of overflow and people benefit from it. And I ultimately want my community to do well. But I also know that if I'm tired, or if I'm feeling burnt out, or if I'm not tapped into my creativity, or tapped into like my spiritual prowess, no one's benefiting from that. Nobody. And like, it's just a unnecessary experience for everybody to be having. Okay? Responding to life intentionally versus reacting. Exactly, Ginger. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, overflow, not the flow. That's mine. Exactly. There's that saying of, whatever's in the cup is mine. It belongs to me. Without it being in the cup, I can't function properly. I would need everything in this cup to function properly. Now, once the cup starts overflowing and spilling out, all that's that's just for y'all to do whatever you want to do with it. And it also puts you in this space where you're not bothered as much either, because it's not taking from what you need. We really only get bothered by people and things and situations because we're feeling a little empty inside. Because when I'm in an overflow state, if someone takes an idea that I had, or there's a lot of weird things that happen in professional spaces, or someone says something that should be offensive, I'm not as offended, because I'm just like, I don't know what you're going through, and I hate this for you. Hope that you feel more aligned and better soon, because you deserve that. And I go on my business, as opposed to being like, did you just say that to me? How dare you? I'm not someone that gets easily offended, but it's also because my cup is often full. I don't get offended often. It takes a lot to offend me, because it it means that I haven't been taking care of myself, right? It also means that I've given you a lot more influence over my life than you need to have for you to be able to offend me. Like, you said that really mean thing. It's just looking like a you problem. Like, that's not my problem. I'm not gonna pick that up. I'm not going to add on to what I'm going through when I feel this good. It just, things like that will just brush off your shoulder. And once that starts happening, the universe starts seeing your response to it. It starts giving you less and less, because it's just like, oh snap, like this is not, there's no purpose here. You're not responding to it anymore. It no longer needs to be around in your experience. And then I find that I am often in spaces where people aren't offending me, not because I don't care or because I'm unbothered, but simply because I am so filled up with myself, with source, with community, with love, um, whatever else I put in my cup, that it almost like repels. Like people just will naturally want to be kinder to me, because offending me would mean that you lose access to the overflow, and the overflow is beneficial to you. People kind of get offended when they're like getting into your cup and you're being stingy with it, because yeah, this is mine. It's for me, and now you're asking for it of me, and that's gonna put me in a bad mood. And now you're getting my bad mood. Yes, I'm giving you my time, my energy, but I'm also giving it to you at half capacity. So it's just not healthy. It's not conducive. The more that I understood that getting older, the less that nobility around sacrifice and like putting yourself last made sense to me, because I'm just like, it actually hurts the people that I love when I put myself last. I can't give them my best, and I know that is going to make me feel horrible, that I could be doing more, but I can't because I didn't take time to take care of myself. Like, I could just take care of myself and know that I'm going to give my best every single time. That's like a side rant, but it's important. Yes, yes, yes. So true. I also turn down opportunities when not in overflow. Yeah, you have to know yourself, right? That's why when I went through the bigger part of my grief, I didn't teach. It wasn't because I didn't want to teach, or that I didn't have the skill set to still hold space. I could have done that. It just did not make sense to me because I was not at a space of overflow. I was still replenishing my cup, right? So yes, okay. Last card before we get into the meditation. It's time to take action. New Moon in Aries. This is the only card that's in reverse. Okay. I mean, it's not in reverse. So this is a new moon. Aries energy is very intense. You see how it's staring you right in the eye. I think this is a ram, right? It's staring you right in the eyes, facing you head on, unafraid, unapologetic, ready to take action. Now, the edit that I want to add here is it's time to take inspired action. I am a big believer in inspired action. I don't move just for the sake of moving, right? I move with intention. So inspired action is when you get those nudges from the universe. You get that call and you see those signs and you act on those signs. That is inspired action. It will always lead you to a really beautiful and healthy space. It's a very efficient way to learn a lesson when you are tapped in and tuned in and allowing yourself to be inspired to act, right? So it's less about my own willpower and more about the fact that, like, when something inspires you, I want you to think about a time where you felt inspired. Hopefully it's been recently. But when I'm inspired, I just naturally want to do something, right? Like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And I'm like in a mode to create, right? Or I want to go and help or build or do something beautiful for myself and my community. That is what it means to be inspired to act. Something beautiful has risen up within you, has made you aware, has aligned your energy, and is allowing you to use that energy to move forward and produce something, as opposed to motivating yourself, right? I think that there's a time and place for motivation. I don't think it's should be used a lot, because motivation is fleeting, and it's kind of like you get the gassing yourself up, like you could do that, you gotta keep it going, like, and that's hard. That's already a lot of energy just to gas yourself up to get it done. And then once you get it done, you're usually tired, usually depleted. Usually you're like, I just need to sit back. I don't want to do anything else ever again. Motivation is very fleeting. There's no it's not sustainable. It's for particular situations. It should not be a go-to personally. For me, I don't go where I'm like, if I need to be motivated to be somewhere, like kind of coerced to get there, that probably is not where I need to be. Because I know myself enough to know that if I'm inspired, I'm in that space and I'm fully present and I want to be there. I'm sitting in the front row, middle seat, taking notes. I am present. I want to be here. I know I need to be here. Being here feels really good. That is what it means to take inspired action. That is what we're being asked to do, with surrendering to the divine, with remembering that we've done a lot of work. We don't need to add more onto our plate. That these two things together are inspired action. Because when you're able to give to the universe and you clear that energy, that weight off of you, you're back into synchronicity, you're back into alignment, you're going to start seeing the signs, doing the things that need to be done, right? That makes it so much more easier for you to also witness that I've done enough. My work is good. Maybe what I need to be doing is be. I need to be. Maybe I need to be at a pool. Maybe I need to be outside. Maybe I need to be relaxing or spending time with my family or tapping back into my creativity. This is where the effort goes. This is where it goes. And then that inspired action continues this beautiful cycle. I love when I act out of inspiration. It has never failed me. And it always feels so satisfying from the beginning. It's one of those rare instances where you get instant gratification as well as delayed gratification. Because you feel good when you begin, because you've just seen the signs and you're like, oh my God, okay, like I hear you, universe, and you're like excited and proud of yourself, like, oh my God, I heard the universe, like, yay for me, I'm listening. So now you're in this really happy spirit of like, I paid attention, right? And then you go and do the thing, whatever that is, and then you get something else from it and you're like, oh wow, this makes so much sense. Like, it's just like this, I love inspired action. It's such a beautiful experience to have, and you can have a lot of it. It's endless. It's infinite, like being grateful. It's along the same frequency as bliss, as joy. It's going to lead you to more of it. I cannot enough. Like, inspired action is the stuff of life. Okay? So those are our 3 cards. Surrender to the divine this week. Whenever you have a hard time, you're having a rough moment, there's something that feels too heavy for you to carry, give it to the divine, universe, source, whoever you call on to. Get comfortable with this. Know that as you do this, you're completing a cycle and you're ushering in a new cycle where you'll be able to do more of this, right? Then we have in reverse, your hard work is paying off. Remember that you're at the beginning of this journey, and the more that you journey through it, through the unknown, through the uncertainty, you're going to become more and more certain that you have done enough, that you right now in this moment are enough, that you don't have to contribute anything else if you don't want to, okay? And then we have in reverse, it's time to take inspired action. Use that Aries energy, that go-getter energy, that I'm outside energy to make things happen for yourself. And when I say make things happen, I want to clarify that I mean allow things to happen. Because inspired action just lets things flow, and it's the best type of feeling, okay? So those are 3 cards. Let me know which one resonated with you, okay? I'm going to take a sip of water, and then we're going to do our meditation and our prayer. I'm going to move this a little bit closer. That's because I know when I meditate, my voice gets a little lower. I'm so excited. I really do love being with y'all so much. I cannot express it enough. It is really a joy. This is genuine excitement. Okay, I'm gonna give it like a few more seconds because I don't know if there's like hearts here or not, but if there are and you're ready to meditate, just show me. If not, I'm gonna start in like 10 seconds. I'm so happy. Yes, I do. I thoroughly enjoy reading cards. It's one of my many joys in life. But there's so much accuracy. And it also just reminds me of my own power, of my own ability to live my life however I choose, however I see fit. And I really appreciate being reminded of that. Being reminded that I get to decide, and then I get to decide in conjunction with the energy that created all things it's an underrated blessing. It's underrated. Priscilla, I missed you too. Okay, let's begin the meditation. And I would like for you all to get comfortable. Here we go. Okay. I want you to find a comfortable position for your body, whether that's laying down, sitting up, sitting in lotus, whatever feels best for you. And I invite you to close your eyes or to soften your gaze and to notice how your body feels in this moment. Witness your breath. You don't have to guide it in this moment. Just let it be how it is. And we're witnessing our breath. We're not criticizing our breath. Just noticing if it's deep, if it's shallow. Are we getting enough oxygen in this moment? And then I want you to invite in a deep inhale, breathing in to the nostrils, feeling that cool air pull through into the lungs, expanding the lungs as much as you can. And then an open mouth exhale, release. Deep inhale, breathing in, pulling in that fresh air, expanding the body as much as possible. And open mouth exhale, release. Softening the shoulders, relaxing the face. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, release. And continue that pattern of breathing in through the nose and releasing through the mouth. And for this week, we're going to meditate on surrendering so that we can be inspired to act. And we can do this simply by witnessing our breath. As we breathe in, we're pulling in this fresh air, but on that exhale is an act of surrender. Notice how easy it is to let go. It's not as hard as you think it is in your mind. Your body is prepared, is designed to surrender. It understands that when you surrender, when you let go, you make space for the new to come flooding right in. Surrender is a beautiful experience to have. It's a reminder that you're not alone in this experience. You're not alone in this life that you're living. You get to live this life with Source, God, universe, your creator. And you can live hand in hand with the spiritual entity that will guide your steps, that will have your back, that will lead you forward, that will embrace you and hold you in moments where you feel too tired to move on, and that will cheer you on as you're moving forward in life, as you're making progress. And the way to access that relationship, the depth, the beauty, the impact of that relationship is to surrender. Deep inhale, breathing in. A slow exhale, letting go. Surrender. On that inhale, as I live life, exhale, I surrender. As I live life, inhale, I surrender. As I live life, I surrender. Allow yourself the freedom, the relief that comes with being able to surrender, with being able to give up any problem, any discomfort, any dissatisfaction to your source, to your God, to your energy. And when we do that, we invite inspiration into our experience. Beautiful synchronicities and signs that light us up from within, that bring a sparkle to our eye, a smile to our face, that give us a sense of adventure, where we don't even realize that we're embarking on something new. We're just excited. We're excited that we're being led, that we're being guided. And as we're being guided, it's even more satisfying. There's even more ease. There's more bliss. There are more blessings, more miracles. Deep inhale, breathing in. Exhale, surrender. Breathing in, inspired action. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, inspired action. Exhale, surrender. Bear witness to how your body is designed to be inspired to act so effortlessly, knowing that the benefits are keeping the body alive and surrendering, letting go without hardship, because we understand that the body benefits from making space. Honor this yin-yang flow that is within you, that's within the world. Allow yourself to be plugged up into that divine truth this week. That with every breath you take, you remember, I was designed to surrender, to let go, to have ease. I was designed to inspire, to be inspired, and to act on that inspiration, and to allow it to be an adventure, to be a journey filled with beauty and bliss. That is what I was designed for. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, release, letting go. And then I invite you to place one hand over your heart space. And one hand over your lower belly. So we're attaching our heart chakra to our sacral chakra in this practice. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, release. And repeat these affirmations. I feel safe enough to surrender to the divine. I am willing to trust in the divine. I am willing to trust in myself. I lovingly let go of what no longer serves me. And with an open heart and mind, I invite inspired action into my life. I bear witness to it. I allow it to guide me, to provide me fun experiences, lessons to learn, and a healthy space to grow. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, letting go. You can bring that second hand up to the heart as well. And we're going to pray as a collective. Keep what resonates, leave what doesn't. Add on what you need to add on in your own time frame as well. But the prayer for this week is to welcome the surrender. Welcome surrender into our lives like an old friend. To trust in the relief it will provide us. To remember that surrendering is a beautiful act because we are giving our worries, our problems, any confusion or frustration, we're giving it back to source. And we're saying, hey, I bear witness to our dynamic, to our relationship, and I know that together this can be an easier experience for me. I cannot transmute this. I can't alchemize it. I'm not in the space to do so. So I give it to you. I surrender to you. Provide me relief. Provide me clarity. Provide me energy, inspiration to move forward. Allow me to witness my greatness. To honor how much I've already done, how much I've completed, how much I've produced for this community, for this world. Let me live in a space of satisfaction. Where I feel satiated. And I'm not worried that I'm going to get lazy or I'm not going to feel ready to do more or be more when the time comes, because I know that you will lead me to inspiration, and from that inspiration I will act. And it will be fun, and it will be effortless, and it will be deeply impactful for myself and for all of those that I encounter. Keep this at the forefront of my mind this week. That I have done enough, that I am enough, that I can surrender to you, that I don't have to carry any more heavy loads in my life. And that as I do these things, I witness more inspiration. Deep breath in, breathing in. Exhale, sending that prayer out into the world. And then we're going to give you some time to drop your hands into your lap by your side if you want to set an intention. Maybe it's the intention to be more aware of where inspiration is in your life so that you can act on it. Maybe it's an intention to honor your greatness by allowing yourself to rest. By trusting in the fact that you have created so much already. Maybe the intention is to explore what that freedom looks and feels like for you this week. Maybe it's the intention of surrendering. Opening yourself up to the practice of it, knowing that as you do, you will invite in experiences that you will need to surrender. And that it is overall a practice. Or maybe the intention is simply to just be present as often as possible. But I'll give you a few seconds to set your intention. going to come back to the moment, come back to the present. Collective inhale, breathing in to seal off and to send off this intention into the world. Exhale, release. You can gently open your eyes, refocus your gaze, coming back into the space. And let me know how you're feeling, okay? And yes, that was our Lotus Hour. It's a little longer than expected, but I'm so happy to be here with you all chit-chatting. As a reminder, this Wednesday in real time, which today is, I have no idea what today's date is, guys. The 23rd, okay? On Wednesday, we will be having a catch-up with each other on Insight Timer. It'll also be available on YouTube too to watch later. We'll be tapping for the week, just tapping in on the energy around us, seeing how everybody's doing and feeling, talking a bit about gratitude galore, and then I'll be dropping some exciting news then. So I'm very excited to be doing that with you. Until then, please check out any other videos that are on the YouTube channel or on the podcast. You can also check out my tracks on Insight Timer. I did submit some more, so there should be some being published, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. It takes some time for them to publish. But I'm very excited. I'm so grateful to have y'all in my community, to be here. Make sure you like this video and that you're subscribed to the channel so you can just get notifications of new videos that come out. The videos for Gratitude Galore will be dropping this week as well, so you'll be able to go back and rewatch them if you're interested in doing that, okay? Here we go. Yes. Needed this life-changing message for me today. Perfect wording in the meditation. I'm so happy. Shavana, tap in. Yes, I feel like me again. Priscilla, stop. I love it. Wait, I have to take a picture. I love that. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yes, I'm excited for the announcement too, Siobhan. Okay. Yes, of course, Rahana. I'm so happy. We are vibing today. Vibing. I want you to have a beautiful Sunday. I want you to move through Monday and Tuesday with the energy and the support of today's Lotus Hour. You can always rewatch this. It'll be available by noon. It takes time for it to like do all its things. So you can rewatch it if you want to. And then on Wednesday, we'll be seeing each other again too. And then we'll be seeing each other next Sunday. So it may not be every day, but I did break it down so that we're seeing each other at least every 2 to 3 days, just to keep the energy going, just to check in with each other. This is a family. This is a community. And I want to make sure that we have the space and the time to just make sure everybody's feeling good, feeling hopeful, feeling aligned, remembering their truth and their power, okay? Yes. Oh my goodness. I feel like me again. Yeah. That's exactly what I needed. Thank you so much for having me. Siobhan, you are literally such a light. Best way to start my day. Love to you all. I love you all too so much. Please go enjoy your day. And yeah, you guys can honestly reach out to me if you need to. DM me on Insight Timer or drop something in the chat. I do tap every day in the group as well. I have it scheduled to tap. It's really quick. You'll see me in the comments. But it's every day. There's one at 7:17 and then there's one at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can always tap in with me there. I usually hop in, do my tapping, and hop out because I do my best to tap every day as well. So, okay? Yes, we are. I love y'all so much. Please have a good day. And I will see you on Wednesday. Okay? Bye.